Okay. So, right now, I'm laying down in my bed with my microphone and everything. I've been thinking about making a video like this for a bit. I've been back from my thing. I had a training event a couple days ago. Just came back. And I don't know, I'm not even that tired. Just like all kind of scratched up a bit everywhere from bugs. And like handling sea wire and stuff. I got like this fucking, my bed right now. I do have a body pillow, but it's just like a regular pillow. But it's really good when dealing with like when you put your legs around it with your back. Because I usually sleep on, I like side sleeping. And it used to just like mess with my back. And then sleep on my back. Usually when I'm not at home, I sleep on my back. Because that's like the only way you can sleep out in the field. That's usually like, if I'm not sleeping at home, I'm sleeping outside or somewhere stupid. But yeah, I think for this, I'm just gonna be talking. I'm just gonna be like rambling or whatever. On bed. It's like 10 or something right now. So yeah, let's go back. It was I left. You know, we did the same thing as always. I should this and we go to prep all our vehicles and whatever on the first day. Everything, make sure we have everything to load up. And we, that's like the day we get down there. And then, everyone was supposed to get their license and stuff. Like the military one. To like the month before. And so they picked a bunch of like people to do shit. And I ended up getting a Humvee to take down there. And it was like a canvas one. Where, like, you've probably all seen like the up armored ones with like bulletproof glass and stuff. But no, I had like a older style canvas soft shell one. And I was like, oh well, that's gonna suck. And then one of the windows wouldn't zip up. It was ripped. So I'm like, okay, fuck it. And it was a bit hot going down there, and the AC didn't work. For a lot of them, they did work, which was interesting. I noticed. And so me and my A driver, blah blah blah, got it ready. And then we headed down the convoy from our armory to the training site. Fuck, I think it took like 6 hours. 6 or 5 hours, when it's usually like a 3-hour drive. And we left early. And everyone else who took a bus with all their stuff, was there already. On the convoy down. We got lost, that's for sure. A couple times. Because the route they were using was different than we usually do. And it was stupid and it was dumb. But we managed to get everyone down there in okay amount of time. And then that day was just like putting the vehicles back, setting them up or whatever at the end of that. Then the next day, fuck, I'm already forgetting. I think it was like getting our gear. Like, because it was like a full fucking squeaky ass bed. It was like a full training environment thing. So, they issued our weapons, magazines, the Miles gear, which if you don't know is like, it's like laser tag things. It goes beep if you get shot. Well, like your weapon has like a little laser thingy that should go off when you fire your blanks. And why am I blinking out? I'm blinking so hard right now. Yeah, we set that up and we get it all like our shit. Yeah, so we just got everything ready, blah blah blah. And then we got like, yeah, that was really it. And then the next day, you know, that's when we loaded up. We left everything, like, we only took the gear we needed. And then that's when we headed out to the field. So like the training site, there's like the impact zone. And then there's like a general, like where there's like all the post stuff. And then there's like where all the training areas are. And you know, it was like the second you cross out at the start of the day, you know, it was all like, I don't know what the term is, but like, it's all in play. So like, you were like simulating if it was like outside the wire type of thing, like a combat zone. And we had I think the first thing was driving. Like everyone was convoying their vehicles to like the main talks, which is like, I don't remember what it stands for, but it's like your like command area. And we were the engineer assets. So there was 2 groups, right, on both sides of this massive like camp, like training site. I think it was like, might be like 5 miles. No, it's probably like 10 miles. Probably like 15-ish. That might be like incredibly wrong. I didn't feel that long, but it's probably bigger. I don't know. I feel like getting anywhere took forever. Yeah, we moved to the initial site with like our entire battalion we were attached to. And we didn't really fucking do anything there that day. I think we were waiting for our orders, or they were getting everything set up. So we kind of chilled that day. I did sleep outside. That was the first day. We were just like, oh, I guess we'll just sleep right here, right by our vehicles. Well, not by the vehicles, because it's like a safety thing. Not sleeping. They don't want us sleeping outside, like right next to them, or inside of them. I don't know. So like, if they moved it, you didn't get ran over or something. So it's like a little side. We had like a little area all together. We just slept there. We had no tents because infantry said fuck no tents. And they're like, okay, no tents. So just the floor and us. Well, I did bring my mat, like my little air mat they give you. That shit actually helps a lot. Because if you just sleep on the floor, like even a sleeping mat, I think sleeping bag, you'll still get really cold because you'll lose a lot of your body heat through to the ground. But yeah, that was really helpful without a tent. And then the next day, that's when we started. We moved to our company talk location, and it was just like, it's just a big clearing, really. I'm trying to remember what the fuck we were doing. So I think we were divided into 3 platoons, and each platoon was acting with 2 squads, I think, essentially. It's just like with the manpower we had. And they had 2 teams. Or, yeah. Yeah. I'm like confusing myself. It was a big clearing, and then we like had our little area set up, but we were like notionally holding security because I think we were deep enough in that we didn't really need to. Or like honestly, I don't think we were even that much of a threat to the enemy forces, so they didn't even bother fighting us. When it's like one company area within like a battalion, fucking spread out. I think there was like fucking 3. There might have been like 9 like infantry companies there on our side alone. So there's a lot of fucks, and they were like ranging from like unmounted, somewhere like a vehicle mounted, fucking mortar company. Oh, there's a lot of guys. So we were just there. We were just chilling. But then, from then, because we had known about this event for a while, so we had like a general overview of the plan, and we knew every platoon had to build 3 like obstacle belts. So there's like 9 for the entire company, right? For this portion of the event, and we were told like the order. We literally were briefed the day before we left on like what we're doing. I wasn't really in charge of anything for this thing, but I still was at the meeting because fucking fuck, why am I so sleepy now? But yeah, so we were gonna build from north to south, but then that day we're like, no, we're changing it to south to north. And I'm like, okay. Our first one was a block obstacle. And it was like, so it's like on the road, right next to the impact zone. So we knew like they couldn't come from our direction of travel. We were coming from the south, going to the north, right? So the west, they couldn't come from the west, so we didn't even cover that. We were just covering the road, really. And we were told we were going to have infantry pulling security for us. That was the entire idea. But I guess that they did not know about that at all, or whatever. So we're like, oh fuck. So now we have to pull our own security, which means we already have like only 8-man teams. And they want to build a lot. Like, they want to get this shit done in like 3 days, which is like reasonable if we have the manpower, but we don't. So I was already fucked up. So our main security forces were 240s. One looking up north and one looking south. And I don't know, because I'm a specialist, so I've already done the pitch work before. I don't really have to be there. I just help manage the site, or like do anything else, we can't get the new Joes to do, or we can't really trust them to do. And it like, so the site comes up, it's a little bridge, and it comes out into a T, but like the the right side, it goes off into like a bunch of S's and like into the woods. It's like a road. It's not really a road, but it's like a trail. Now it's like a vehicle trail, right? And so we're like, okay, we hide our vehicles or whatever. Because at that point we did have like OCs. I don't really know what the OC stands for, to be honest. But they're like the game masters for us. So there were other engineers there to help us critique like what we're doing, and like, help rule the game for us. So our guys are building. I think it was just a triple strand with tackle foot onto the wood part where they could cross. But it was notional because you can't really block the road. So it was engineered tape, or it would be crossing the road. So it's kind of dumb, but training, whatever. And that was the first time we saw a vehicle cross a vehicle come. And at the time we were kind of like, wait, who are they up for? And we saw it had they were marked with Z's with tape. And like the first time I think it passed, we didn't do anything about it. Because I don't know, at that point we had no clue. And I still like now, I don't even know what the fuck up for was for us at that point in time. But it's been a couple hours or whatever. And then a gun truck comes up. I think it was like an MRAP with I actually don't even know what truck it was, but it was an armored truck with a gunner, right? And it stops on the other side of the bridge. Like everyone calls out, everyone goes to the woods. We try to verify who the fuck it is. We hear they dismount. We're calling it out. We're trying to figure out, are we gonna open fire or what? And then they give it. We know they walk down. I didn't see it because the point where I was trying to take cover, I was on the far side of the road, on the other side of like where the bridge was, so I couldn't see shit. And so then someone's calling out, oh, they're mounting back up. And then you can hear them like revving their engines, trying to provoke us. And I think eventually they open fire, and then our 240s return fire, and then eventually, I don't know, they get harassed enough that they back off and drive away. It was like our first time taking contact in this event. And we were still like not even sure what the fuck we're doing. After like a little bit, we're like, fuck it, let's get back to work. And then I'm like at the rep pulling security on our other trucks that are hidden in the wood line on this offshoot road. And then this fuck ass, then I see like a fucking platoon, like a squad of soldiers coming from the woods. And I'm like, who the fuck are you guys? And I'm like looking at everyone like, and they don't even react to me asking them, who are you guys? They just like stare at me. And I'm like, dude, I don't even know if you're the enemy or not. It was such a dumb thing. And I'm like looking at my sergeant, like, what the fuck? And he goes talk to them, and then he figures out like, oh, they're probably on our side or something. I don't know. Because they came from the south, and then they're saying like, I think they were looking for like a supply point, which was at our coordinates. But like, no, this is not it. Or if it was, they didn't tell us. But apparently further down the offshoot road, that's where I think they were setting something up. Because they did bring down vehicles later. Another group, or no, before that there was a group that set up something. And from what I later heard, I believe they were setting up an ambush. It was a good spot to put an ambush, nonetheless. but I don't think they were gonna ever come down that road because we were holding it for their obstacle. And then I think the rest of that road went down south. So I don't know. That was dumb. Then we had issues. People went down because of the heat or whatever. And then blah blah blah. I had to deal with that entire thing. So I was gone for like that entire day. Yeah, I didn't get back because I had to deal with somebody. I had to help them. Right. I didn't get back till like 1 o'clock the next day to our patrol base, which kind of sucked. Wait, this is before that. I forgot because I remember I was trying to figure out like where the fuck is everyone because it's late as shit. And so like I managed to like kind of deduce where the fuck they were, and I'm like, I know they're around here, but like I'm not sure. I'm not gonna walk into the patrol base because I have no clue where anyone is. So I'm gonna lay down against this tree and go to sleep. And I told the other guy I was with, just do this, just go to sleep somewhere. And like, okay, well, I went to sleep. And so yeah, I just like picked a spot, pulled on my mat, went to sleep in like 5 minutes. And then this fucker took like fucking 20 minutes setting up everything. Like, bro, just go to sleep. You're so dumb. And stop making so much noise. But yeah, that was that day. And then I think in the morning they give us the next report. They told us, oh yeah, the other spots we were supposed to do our work at have been overrun already. I'm like, oh okay, because we were technically the most northern group that was going to take the most contact. Like we should expect to take the brunt of it. And like we were kind of ready for that, but I guess I didn't expect them to just take over our spots, and we didn't even have a chance to fight because like we can't take over. We don't have the manpower or the weapons. So like, okay, fuck. I guess what are we gonna do now, sir? And I was like, fuck it. We're gonna help the other platoons. Not the other platoons, and help like reinforce their shit. And I'm like, okay. And then I think he said that, and then we waited like 6 hours just doing nothing. I mean, I slept or some shit. I don't even know what the fuck we were doing. It was a boring day. But at nights, so he said, I think then at night they decided to, okay, we're gonna run the op. And so that's when we went to build some shit at a roundabout. And that was at night with NVGs and shit. Well, I tried to use NVGs, but it was just so bad. Building obstacles at night was just so bad. And at that point, because later on they told us, yeah, you can use red light for safety. And we were like, bruh. But no, so at that point, fuck the NVGs, we just do it like in darkness. It wasn't that dark, but I mean, like, you could barely see, right? And I think we were just doing another triple strand. And while building, blah, blah, my sergeant's like, go relieve the 240 for security. Because he was thinking I'm tired, but I'm not. I was like, I'm working. Of course I look tired. I'm working. Just let me keep working. Well, whatever. Okay. I like go finagle where the R240 is. And then I see it's like our newest Joe on it. It's like their first drill is this. And I'm like, bruh. So I'm like, okay, fuck it. I try to find them, send them down to go replace me. So I'm sitting in this 240 in some like fuck ass spot, like looking down the road. I couldn't even tell you if I was looking down the road. It was so fucking dark. My NVGs were being fucking stupid. And so I just laid there prone, like tucked into the wood with a 240, and I was trying to figure out, like, I was trying to remember how the fuck do I fire this? And I know how to, because whenever we do like cruiser ranges, I'm always on the 240, and I was just trying to remember, and it was just, oh my god, like you could hear like vehicles out down the road and shit, and I'm like, fuck, I hope they don't come, because I want to fucking open fire, and then that's gonna be a whole bitch. And I know, because it was kind of loud, kind of, so I'm expecting like also like unmounted patrols or something, unmounted like attack to the woods. And so as you're laying there, you know, I don't know, whenever you pull security, especially prone, like into the woods, you start seeing shit. You start seeing shit, you start hearing stuff. And I could swear to God, I think I was there for like half an hour maybe. I have no clue, it felt like forever. I could swear to God, on my left side, like in the woods, I heard like cracking and breaking. But it's like the natural sound of the woods, right? But I could swear to you, it sounded like a group of people slowly getting closer to me. Like doing their best to just like move like millimeters. And I could swear, dude, I was so scared. I was so fucking scared. Like, I don't know, I was like, am I going, like, getting schizophrenia? And I was ready to fucking grab that 240 and just fucking let it rip into the wood line. Because I was so ready. Like, the second I heard something like 100%, I was gonna do it. Dude, it's like the worst thing in the world. Like, genuinely. That's why I hate pulling security. But eventually my LT is like, okay, we're done, pick up. And I'm like, okay. And so yeah. Ugh. Okay. Sorry. The power. My batteries were dying. My thingy that I realized, I can just wire it, like, connected to the wall. It's like, fucking stupid. But yeah, what was I talking about? Yeah, pulling security. So yeah, I got pulled off. We left. Did we leave? I don't remember. Oh no, wait, I was driving the Humvee for that. So yeah, I got into my Humvee, drove off. We drove back, went to sleep, and I think we had to do fire guard too after that, which is kind of bullshit, but you know, whatever. It wasn't that bad. It was just some dumb stuff. It's like some new guys that have watches. It's like, what? Come on, how do you not have a watch? Because we weren't gonna have phones out there or whatever. And I was like, okay, whatever, man. I guess we'll just hand off a watch for each shift. I think, yeah. And then from that, I think the next day was more waiting. I think they gave us another point. And I'm gonna cut these countries, I know for sure. But fuck it, right? It's like I'm putting the mic like on my chest, like on the pillow. It's on the chest. like something happened, and I think the plan was that we knew we couldn't get radio communications with the company talk, but we knew where another platoon was, so we went. I think they decided we'll go to them, and then they'll like either radio and we'll radio from their position because we know they had contact. So we did that, but they were getting hammered by shit. I don't even remember. They were taking like IDF. IDF is like, in this terms, it's like indirect fire, which can vary from like small arms to mortars to artillery. It's like I usually think of it as like you're getting attacked, but you can't really fight back in that moment. And so we're like, fuck. So then we went off to the side to like an open clearing area, and then we lined up our vehicles and shit, and I think that was the first time we had to like deal with a drone, because there was drones out there. And that's like, from there it's like we had to decide, wait, what the fuck are we doing regarding drones? Because me and my guys were telling them for like weeks or for like months before this, like, if it's drone shit, if it's like the army's actually taking, like, being serious about it, we gotta make some sort of like SOPs, so standard operating procedures for like what we're gonna do, like what the company has decided that we're all gonna like do regarding this or that. And nothing was made. So like, okay, cool, that's awesome. And now we're here with a drone above us, and we don't know what the fuck to do. So first thing first, obviously, go hide into like the woods. But like the area we were at was kind of like, you couldn't go that far. You couldn't really go that deep in, which was bad. And our vehicles were just there, like in a line, and this drone was just like hovering right above one of our LMTVs. And one of the OCs is like, okay, boom, truck is down. Boom, your other truck is down. So we're like, fuck. And like we were like arguing, like we were talking about, can we shoot them down? Like we had blanks, so we couldn't really shoot them down. But like, could we notionally fire at them? And I think at that point it was like undecided. Like, what the fuck? And so we unloaded stuff we needed from those trucks, because we were under the impression like, oh, they're done for the day until like your company can come back and retrieve them or fix them up, whatever, notionally. And so I put them into my truck, my Humvee with I had a trailer, and so we moved to like hide the other vehicles we had to the wood line, and then that's when my truck, I popped one of the tires on my truck, and we were like, fuck. And they're like, okay. And then at that point, I think the drones came back, and then we like scattered, and we were like, fuck it, get the 243, just fucking fire on it. And I think he let off like one burst at it, and that was it. I think that was like the one time our group, that time, the drone and then the gun truck were the only two times my platoon actually took contact during this entire event. And it's just, I mean, it's whatever, but it was kind of dumb. And then I think from there we like kind of paused with our OCs, and we talked about like what was going on today, or like what went on yesterday and today, and that day. And then guess I said, yeah, you can have your vehicles back. I'm like, bruh, okay. But I did have to leave mine to get them, like, our mechanics an actual machine to fix it. Let's just change the tire or whatever. Oh. Yeah. We went back. Yeah, I think that was the rest of that day. Just chill. Talk about stuff. And I think I can't remember anything else. I think later that day they came back with my truck, which is cool. What else, man? I really can't remember anything else. I'm pretty sure that was the end of the first part of like our defense building portion. And so from there we went back to the barracks and like got ready for the next part. I just changed, because we were dirty, showered, get ready for this other part. I was like 4 days. And then this next part was gonna be like a week and a half or some shit. Or like 5 or 6. Actually, I don't even remember anymore. It just felt like forever. Oh. Okay, so I was asleep. Okay. I think. Yeah, we refit, whatever. And we went back out. And then. God, I can't even remember. Eventually, we went and got introduced to the infantry company we were being attached for this next portion. And so, I don't know how it was the other platoons. I know it also varied between when you were attached to. Oh yeah. I'm trying to remember. I remember when we got there. I just can't remember how we got to their ORP. No. We got to their main, like, I think it was the battalion talk. I think. And it was pretty well set up, pretty well defended. I don't know. Okay, we met them. I remember now. We met them just before stepping off to go back outside the wire, quote unquote. They seemed pretty chill, and like we were just talking about like what they're doing, how they're reacting to X, Y, Z, and what they've been doing, what we can do and stuff. And then from there, like, cool, we're under this platoon sergeant is gonna be the one like in charge of us. Like, okay, he's our private contact. They were really cool. Like, I was really afraid that they were gonna be fucking morons, but they're National Guard, right? So they're like not complete fucking idiots like that I would expect from like an active duty infantry sergeant who's like, this is what they live and die for. But like, not these guys. I mean, they were pretty good at their jobs from what I could see, but like, they're not unreasonable. And so we left with a convoy with them to their I think it was battalion or company talk. I couldn't remember. It was really well defended. Like, they had a fuck ton of gun trucks. They had like some of those like robot fucking things. Oh, what's it called? Like, it was like a platform with like a robot that could carry shit. Like, if it was an autonomous like vehicle that was just like a little platform, and they had like this fucking nice ass setup. I mean, it was kind of so stupid. It was like a 50 cal with a fuck ton of ammo behind him. It looked cool, but like in real world, I was like, that's kind of stupid. Because if he gets shot, boom, all the ammo explodes and whatever. But it looked cool. I had a bunch of gun trucks, LMTVs like 50s and one them and shit. And so we were there, we helped them load a bunch of ammo and stuff for our company, the infantry companies that we were with. And so they fucked off. Oh yeah, at that point we gave up a lot of our vehicles, so we only had 2 vehicles. So I wasn't driving at this point anymore. I think we had an LMTV, like a troop carrier, and then 2 Humvees, I think. And that was for like our company talk. But we were essentially like letting them use it for like the overall infantry company talk, I think. I can't remember. But yeah, we go. Okay, I don't know where we were. And then we go to the opening of a big field. You were at this point of the time. It was late as fuck. Or it got late. I just remember it getting really dark. And like the main infantry company had already set up all their shit. And like, they're like, yep, you guys are with these guys that are like platoon sergeant and platoon leader. Yeah, the R officer. Like, they kind of fucked off. They're like, oh, we're just with them now. We have no communications. We have no radio. We have nothing to communicate with them. They technically should have encrypted radios with like the company thing. Because I fucking got that handled. Which was stupid. It was just a stupid thing. I'm like, okay. And so eventually they come and take us to go to our like ORP for the company. I think it was a company, or I don't even know, dude. I think it might have been a platoon ORP, because their platoons are way bigger than ours. And it was so fucking dark. Even with my NVGs, like, I was so fucking lost. And then he was like setting people down on their line. And then I got lost, I think, because he told me to sit in the middle. And then I think he thought I was like the sergeant, but I'm like, no, I'm not in charge. And I was like, oh fuck. And so he said it's down on the line. And like, you know, when you go into the woods with like very shitty NVGs, and you have no clue where anyone is, they're like, fuck, let's just fucking get a spot and figure it out. And so eventually I got somewhere on this theoretical line that existed. They're like, yeah, can you guys also do fire guard? You know, we're in 33%. 33% is essentially, I don't even know if it actually is, but it's like one person on each side is awake at all times, right? So it's like fake. So now all my guys are like hidden in spots I don't know, and in the dark, and I need them to like pull like a shift an hour fire guard. It's like fuck. And like I did it. I managed to fucking get it handled. Yeah, it was dumb. But then like the morning we're like, oh, this is not that confusing. But you know, this is like it's not bad. And then we managed to get everything set up properly. And they moved the lines to be like they made our lines bigger. They pushed us up more. And I had a better idea where everyone was. That day was fucking awful. Because that day we did nothing. I fucking, like, spent some time building up my fighting position. I dug, like, maybe, like, 3 inches. And, like, I put some foliage and shit. It was whatever. I just kept telling the other guys to fucking dig in, too. Because technically, well, it was supposed to be a hasty position, so you didn't really have to dig in. But we ended up, like, there for, like, a day, for, like, 2 days. It was just, then at that point, you're like, that's not hasty. You have to, like, build that shit up. And so, we spent there, did nothing. Because, like, their like, objectives and their missions weren't really accounting to have engineering assets, it seemed. So it's like, I guess, like, if there's something for us to do, we could do it, but, like, they're not gonna go out of their way to get us something to do. Which kind of blows, right? Because now we're just doing infantry shit. When that's not what I mean, we should know. I mean, like, I knew it, but, like, we, as a unit, didn't actively go out and, like, do it all the way as the infantry do. Even though we should. Like, we just mainly focus on our engineer shit. Like, demo, obstacle construction, fucking, like, engineer recon and stuff like that. And so that was, like, what we were doing. We were just playing security the entire time. And, like, there's, like, at the beginning, I think we took it mostly seriously. And, like, occasionally falling asleep while playing security. But that's, like, just what happens, God damn it. I'm just remembering something that was really embarrassing. It wasn't, like, I didn't do it. It was, like, someone from us. And it's just, thinking back, it does look so bad. Oh, my God. I don't want to kill myself. At the time, I was, like, kind of tired. I was like, I didn't even think about it. But now I'm thinking about it, like, oh, that was so bad. That was so bad. It's like, if you have a snoring problem, please don't join the military. Honestly, I don't know, a lot of people get those problems from the military. But it's so bad. It's so bad when people snore. Like, oh my God. I'm sorry. But yeah, we just put security all day. And that's when we kept getting more encounters with drones. Like, having that drone. Like, I'm prone, fucking pulling security, and you hear that drone, and they call it drone. And you hear it, like, hovering, because they had, like, helicopter drones. Like, helicopter-ish drones. And I could hear it just flying above me with the canopy. Because I didn't go through the canopy of the trees. Because it's just too risky. And I could hear it, like, right above me. I'm like, fuck. Should I move? Should I stay still? I'm like, fuck. Because I know these fuckers have thermals and stuff. And I'm like, fuck it. I should just stay still. And hope it doesn't see me. But yeah, that was, like, actually scary. So that was that. And I think, and then that day and the next day, we were just there. I think we were playing security, or we were in an ambush. We were setting up an ambush. Because they had, like, groups. What you call it? Like, highlight listening posts and shit. Wait, no, yeah, late that night, they did set up, like, only 3 of us set up, some obstacle. I don't know with what, because we didn't have they took our vehicles, right? They had all our equipment and shit to the company talk, and we could not talk to them at all. Like, I don't know if they tried to through their radios and stuff, through, like, the infantry company already to communicate with our guys. Like, we never saw our equipment again for majority of that portion. Which was ass, because we didn't have wire. Because there was one time they were like, oh, what can you, what can you guys do out here right now? And we're like, nothing. Because we don't have anything with us. And it was dumb. Oh yeah, and that was, for us, we unloaded a lot of our stuff. We're trying to minimize it because we're going to be rucking with them. And so, if you need to offload everything, you don't need it. And I think my Rixel ended up like 20-ish pounds. And it was one of those guys had their shit packed. Like, I just said, fuck it, I'm just going to use one pair of uniform for this entire event. I mean, it kind of sucks, but, you gotta do it. But yeah, it was dumb. Oh yeah, another part. It was funny when we were doing that. Later, we're like, okay, we're checking everyone's stuff, right? And you got your water, your gloves, your SI, your sensitive items. And our new guys, I was asking them, okay, where's your water source? Can I see it? So they're like, yeah, here's my canteen. I'm like, okay, where's your camel bag? It's like, we left it in the trucks. And I'm like, what? Like, genuinely, like, in disbelief. Like, what do you mean you left, like, your main water source? You're like, yeah, I didn't really use it during the first part, so I thought I could leave it. We were talking about getting rid of all weight. That thing's heavy. And I'm like, I was gonna lose it. Like, Lou's laughing. Because I was like, how? I was like, how? In what world? Does us saying lose weight in your rucks mean leave your camelback? Like, and remember, this is hot as fuck. We've already had a fuck ton of people, like, from various groups already, like, pass out from heat exhaustion, or whatever it's called. And it's like, oh my god. And so, I don't know, I told my sergeant, I'm like, can you figure this out? I really cannot be bothered with this. And I'm like, what the fuck? And so eventually they sent them out on an adventure to fucking go find their shit. And I think that took them like fucking an hour and a half or some shit. I don't even know. I remember they were getting ready to fucking leave and try to find them by the time they came back, because it had been that long. But yeah, it was stupid. Like, every time you think, this makes sense, it's just someone comes around and it's like, what the fuck? Like, oh my god. But yeah, that was that day. And then they set out, and then the next day, that's the thing, that they're setting up ambushes. And so, I think it was 2 incidents of 2 trucks crossing our opening. Like, so it's like, our company is in the wood line, there's another company further down the wood line, like, probably like, maybe half a mile. They have their own ORP. And then on the other side, and I think that was at least maybe like 1.5 miles. That was maybe even 2 miles wide. No, it was at least a mile. The other company probably was like 1/4 mile away from us. So yeah, it was like about a mile and a half of this opening, and then another, like, a big wood line. And then there was other companies there. So these 2 OPFOR vehicles crossed through this road in the middle, and they were getting ready for that, but like, every time they came close to us, they're like, no one can get eyes on them, like, no one can get positive ID or get like a good picture to open fire. And it's like, it happened every time. It happened. Like, what the fuck? they like immediately moved. Like, fuck it, next time it happens, we'll just pick up and fucking get in position. And they did that, and they still could not get eyes on it. And so like, oh, I guess nothing happened because they couldn't open fire on both times. No one could. Like, no one. I think there's like 4 companies out there. No one could get their 240s to fucking shoot at the enemy. It was so dumb. But yeah, and that's what we spent all the time. Whatever. And then I think that night, at like, fuck, what did we stop off? I think at 0 or 01, we're like, oh, the entire fucking company's gonna get up and we're gonna ruck to our new area. And I'm like, oh fuck, okay. And it was cool. Fuck, like that time, I had my phone on me for reasons that got complicated, and then I ended up not being able to leave my phone. When I was told, yeah, we could probably come back and let you get your stuff and drop it off. I did not get that chance. But it was so fucking pretty. Like, I cannot tell you how pretty and scenic it was. Just like laying down with my ruck, just like leaning against it with them NVGs, looking, because with NVGs you can see the stars, right? And then like this big ass opening, this clearing with like fog, this like midnight fog. You can see the stars, you can see the moon. It was so fucking pretty. It was so pretty. God, I cannot tell you. I think it was one of the prettiest things I've ever seen with my eyes. God. But yeah. Eventually, you know, we picked up, and then we started walking. I think we were in the middle of the company formation, and God, it was so long. I think it was like maybe 3-hour movement, 3-4 hour movement, and this is like everyone's like back to back, essentially, like walking in the woods, with night vision, so no one got lost, right? It was so ass. I mean, it was cool, but yeah. Eventually, God, I can't even remember where we ended up. I really can't. Fuck, where did we end up? Because there was a spot. I remember we just ended up on the road. And like, and I think it turned to day eventually. God, what was our second orb? I'll be honest, I cannot remember for the life of me right now. What the fuck was it? Oh my god. I just remember stuff that happened after. Well, whatever. Eventually we got somewhere. And then from there, or maybe it was that, maybe it was the same one. Jeez, you can't remember. I can't tell you. No, I think it was. So the beginning was fine, and then at the end, we were supposed to go support by fire mission. So there was like a big assault happening, and yeah. This makes sense. Okay, so yeah, it was that march, that rock march was so long. Holy fuck, I'm confusing it like over 2 days. So we get lost. We didn't get lost, but like we keep going into like terrain that you just couldn't cross. It's like 15-foot drops. It was just really bad. Eventually, we walked through some area. There's a wasp nest that stung like a fuck ton of people. objective and say to help you with the assault. And so like, fuck it. The captain, I think, of our company just called in like some like troop carrier LMTVs to just like get us to the objective or get us nearby. And then eventually, because it was stupid, like the portion where we entered across the road to enter the woods, and then by the time we got out, made that call, I think we traversed like maybe 200 meters, and it was so fucking annoying realizing that, like, bro, what the fuck. Okay, and then yeah, we get transpo, we go down, and then we have to still rock to the objective. It's like a mile or something. It's probably like half a mile. And then we get set up. And then again, we're put on rear security. And they set up like their gun line for this support by fire. And then eventually the mission starts. And they just fucking send it with other fucking cruiser. And we were behind them a couple meters, and you could feel the ground shake from all the fucking rounds, and the air was filled with gunpowder. It was fucking crazy, and the amount of sound, like how loud it was insane. It was really cool, actually. And you just hear them yelling, like, fire, 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 like they're doing talking guns and stuff. And that's like, you have your row of like 240s, 249s. One shoots, they burst, and then the next one shoots, the next one shoots, the next one shoots. So there's always a good firing, but everyone's still maintaining the burst. And that goes on, and they boom, they finish their first part, and then I'm assuming they had their assault force assaulting. Then they consolidate ammo, see how much ammo they left, and then they continue the second round, and then eventually I think they pick up, and they're gonna move closer to the objective, or they shift fire to fire, and from there they're just waiting to see if they need to reinforce the assault force. And then eventually, we're just there, no one telling us shit. And eventually they tell us to pick up, and then they split us up to go conduct another. I don't think we're conducting another assault, but we're sending people to help them. But you have to obviously get there tactically. So eventually I end up getting in this formation. We're just doing a fucking big ass, two, what's it called? I'm forgetting this. I should know this. But they're essentially a diamond formation to patrol up. Which there's two wedges. I'm going crazy. So we get two wedge formations to move through this open field, and then eventually, I think they pulled me and my group to start helping with the move casualties of CCP, because apparently some group of them got fucked by a mortar or something. So we're fuck. I hate doing CCP too, because that shit fucking kills you. Physically. That tires you out. And, I had my rocket because I was a moron, or I don't know. I thought we were moving. So I was I'm not gonna leave my shit. The fuck? So I go to the CCP, and these kids have like, well, they had they made a little CCP there. They had to go to the actual CCP. And they all had cards, describing their injuries and like their limitations and stuff. As part of the gameism. That's what was cool. And so like they moved all the people that could, that were ambulatory, so that could walk. And everything else were litters. But we're like, we have no litters. They have one skid, whatever you want to call it, working. You like tie them onto it and they can pull it. They had one, and we're like, fuck, we're gonna have to carry these guys manually all the way down there. So me and some other guy, I don't know, just fucking grabbed a guy and started carrying him. And that tired us out really fucking fast. And it was like a long, long walk. It was a solid, like, God, maybe like half a kilometer. Yeah. Maybe like 400 meters. I don't know, it was far. Like, fuck. And eventually, more guys came down from the infantry. They started helping guys. And so I just took one, then we saw double security because it's far, right? And, we started hearing the drones were coming. And from what I asked them, they said, no, they shouldn't be friendly. There should be no friendly drones out here. It's like, fuck. I was holding one of their weapons to pull security for them at that point. And that fucking shit was heavy as fuck, dude. Like, I'm used to my rifle weight. I don't have anything on my rifle, to be honest. And this fucker had he had a CCO, he had a grenade launcher, and the grenade launcher had its own optic, and it had a bunch of other attachments on it. He had an actual laser thing, which was really cool. He had a fuck ton of things. This shit was heavy. Anyway, so I was there walking with him, playing security. And I was honestly, I kind of bitched out of it because that shit kills me so much. But yeah. And eventually, we get him to the CP. And I think there's the last couple of dudes. I give the rifle to the guy back eventually because I find him. And then from there, our guys are just putting his air card or whatever on the CCP while they're getting handling casualties, getting them sent to the battalion aid station or whatever. And which was the kind of the quote unquote field hospital. And then that's when I was told, yeah, all your surgeons are dead. What? I'm like, fuck. I mean, we had one surgeon, but I wasn't gonna trust. At that moment, I wasn't really trusting. So, me and my other specialist, we're the senior specialist, we're trying to handle things. We're fuck. So eventually, that took forever to deal with the casualties and for them to finish up the assault. So that's when they were okay, we're gonna make a new orb here. So I grab all the guys that are still alive. We go to our stuff. I get them settled in their spot where they wanted us. And so then eventually my sergeants come back because the process of dying didn't take that long. It's just ow. And I know those fuckers died on purpose because they were tired of this shit. I know they did. I'm a little salty about that, but whatever. And then, we're trying to settle in. figure out what to do next. And then eventually, they call us our LT and shit. I was like, yeah, guys, everyone's gonna pick up, like, all the engineers gonna pick up, we gotta go. And we're like, what? Like, the fuck? Yeah, we're being moved to another company, like, in 20 minutes. We just got told 20 minutes ago. Like, what the fuck? Okay, just everyone pick up everything and fucking go. And so we did. And then eventually he was trying to, like, ask who actually brought their license with them, like, their military license. And, like, no one did because we were all, like, stupid. And I'm like, yeah, I have mine on me. It's like all fucked up, but he's like, fuck it, it works. He's like, okay, you're gonna be with us driving one of our vehicles. And I'm like, okay. Okay, I guess. And so from then on, all my guys got attached to this other company. I was not with them. So I was driving vehicles with the platoon sergeant and the platoon leader for the talk for this new company. And I was just with them from that point on, for like the last part of the event. And that shit was kind of boring, but it did get me out of the shits for like 2 days. Oh wait, I think because we moved to some like area, we took fire. I had to take people to the hospital. I can't even remember. Yeah, because we moved that night to a really nice area. And I slept on the floor right next to my vehicle. And it was a really nice night. No, because that first night we were with them, I slept right behind them. And like at the wood line, because we spent a lot of time trying to hide our vehicles. That was also really nice. Our guys, I think, went on a mission that night. And we were just there sleeping, so I felt bad. I did kind of wish, we kept telling them, like, we want to be out with our guys. We're like, at this moment, we really can't. We need you guys. Like, fucking okay, whatever. Like, I know that, I'm probably giving shit for it, but like, we were asking to go back because we, our sergeant, we're there. We're the ones that got pulled. But it was nice. I'm not gonna lie. Then we sat some other spot for their talk for like, God, it was like all day. It was like 20 hours, man. I swear to God. And then eventually they're like, okay, we're gonna move to this other spot because they have already assaulted and moved to this next spot, so we're gonna catch up with the company. And so they were there, new spot. It was really nice. And then I slept again. And then that day we moved again. That day was the most boring for me, honestly. We moved, and then we were in like this big, we convoyed out, and then we stayed in this convoy for like fucking, I think it was like 6 or 7. No, it was like 8. Yeah, 6, 7-ish hours. I was just in this vehicle idling for so fucking long. Oh my God. Like, it was so bad. Yeah, it was just this there. I think they were conducting like the final portion of the assault. And yeah, that was it. Eventually, oh no, in between that we also had missions of bringing them water, stuff like that. I was like sent on a VIP mission, like VIP defense, because it was like their master sergeant, well, their first sergeant, and shit. And we went off we went solo to enemy territory. It was me, some other specialists, their fucking first sergeant, and I think one of their staff NCOs. We're just driving in enemy territory. It was so sketchy. They're like, fuck it, take one of these tank trails. And so we went into the woods with our own V. It was so sketch, dude. It was so sketch. But we made it back alive. And let's get the water. And then there's the weeding the next day. And then I don't even know what happened after that. And then oh yeah. So then we moved to the big area. And then from there we kept moving our vehicles for stupid shit. And then eventually okay, here's our guys. Let's line up our shit and try to reconvene with our guys. And oh, we have a bunch of injured people. Okay, we gotta take one of the sergeants to the aid station. He has something fucked up with his eye or whatever. I'm okay, we'll drive him. That shit took all day. Because then we took him to the battalion aid station. And then obviously we're no, they're not gonna, it's a real injury. They're not gonna deal with it here. They're gonna send him to the actual one on post. And so then we drove him there. And then from when we were at the battalion one, we kept hearing people saying, oh yeah, they're done with the event. They're indexing it. And we're oh shit, is it done? Really? And so we were still oh shit. And then we got out there, and then a big fucking rainstorm came through for an hour. It was so bad. I thought it was a fucking hurricane. And I'm fuck. Our guys are still out in the woods, and they're getting fucking soaked. I stayed in my truck the entire time. Well, that's because I was the driver. And so, eventually, we headed back, and they were yeah, they ended it early. Because it was just, really bad. I don't know, we ended it early, at least. They let us go. I don't know if the infantry had more shit to do. So eventually we ended up somewhere all together, just shooting the shit. But it was soaked. They were kind of celebrating at the end of it. But yeah, we still gotta be out here for today. And then tomorrow, today and tomorrow we still have stuff to do. And we're bruh. Because they're we have ammo and materials that have to be used, and we're we didn't really get to do any engineer things out here, so we'll do an engineer event sort of thing. It was just whatever, and we did it. It was shitty, but whatever, yippee. And then from there we cleaned that up. We cleaned up that entire area. And then we went back to the barracks. We're wow, okay, we're done, I guess. But in my mind, I'm we have to go back and clean up everything else. But apparently, from when they told us later, the infantry or other groups were in charge of that, taking all that down. I'm oh, okay, that's cool. That's nice. And then from there we just chilled. I had to do some more stupid shit with the vehicles, but for the most part we can just sit in the barracks for 2-3 days. there's probably stuff happening, but I just slept the entire time. I'm not really a fan of the partying, what they do. I'm just sleepy on my phone. And then drove back. Eventually I turned stuff in there, drove back after like 2-3 days. And then I put everything away. They give us a pass. And then boom, done. That was it. We barely did it. It was so shit. Like, I don't really describe it, but we had like no leadership for majority of it or guidance. And there was like, it didn't seem like anyone really knew we were gonna be there. So it was like we were not used at all. Well, it seemed like infantry didn't even have like the plans they had. Some didn't even know about the entire event as a whole. Some like had different plans than the ones we were told about. It's like everyone I heard about had different ideas and views of what was gonna happen. And it was just so bad. I guess like the battalion level. And then even at the company level, they weren't like talking, they weren't communicating properly. Which is always the issue, you know, in military, blah blah blah. You know, I guess that's how it is. But yeah, I know a lot of people said it. This event was like the worst thing they've ever been to. But I don't know. I mean, like a sicko. But I had fun. And it made me kind of want to stay in. But like, there's a bunch of other stuff that's making me like, because this is like technically my last event. Like my AT, or whatever the fuck they call it is. Yeah, AT. And I know we're gonna have to go to JRTC next year. And that's like the Joint Readiness Training Center or some shit like that. So it's like that, but like for like 30 days. And I hear that's like even worse. Well, it's a worse thing. And everyone's like, yeah, I want to try to find something to get out of it, which I understand, but like, you know, that. But yeah, that's what I did for like the last couple of weeks. I don't know. But yeah, I'm really tired now. I'm trying to go to sleep. Hopefully, if you listen to all this, you're goofy, go to sleep too. It's all just rambling.